Just say this, every label passed up on me. Every record company passed up on me. Every crew, you know, like I'm from New York. Jay's crew and 50's crew didn't sign me. You know, I wasn't signed to Nas, and you know, or I wasn't signed to anybody, you know.
Hell can silence them damn bars.
Man.
Nobody can silence them
Man.
bars.
What are we talking about here?
Well, okay, so let's back it up. So Nicki Minaj did a verse on the Carter 6, the bonus version of the album.
Yeah.
It's called Banned from NO, the remix. Let's take a listen to her verse.
Like the top you slides, what you do is flip flop. If I send a pic of Shannon, you ain't that sharp. Still can't spell pug, and that's horrible. Weezy F, baby, and the F is for phenomenal. Man, already fading like a barber. They know it don't decline, so they never face Carter. French vanilla hazelnut in my Starbucks. NFL fire some and then call us.
So she says, NFL fire some N-words and then call us. Now, the song is called Banned from NO, Banned from New Orleans. And, you know, they're throwing shots at the NFL because, you know, remember Nicki Minaj spoke out when Lil Wayne didn't get his chance to perform.
Yeah.
Yep, at Super Bowl. So she's on Twitter all weekend and she's hashtagging as she's, or mentioning as she's doing some of these tweets, NFL fire some N-words and then the phone for call us.
Da will sich dann auch mal bei uns splitten lassen. Und da Jay-Z und Beyoncé mal bei uns splitten lassen. Und da Jay-Z und Beyoncé.
When you sit here, you know, the one question everybody has is there a part of you that thinks it's time for me to get back in the studio, or you're in no rush to do that, or are you waiting till the time is right for you?
Yeah, I think...
Because we can't use the word retirement for you.
Yeah. No, I already did that. I can't do that ever again. I would say I want to make music, but it has to be something important. I don't want to just make a bunch of tunes. That's not going to serve me. It won't feed me, first of all.
What does feed you? What feeds you?
I have to be saying something important. It has to mean something. You know, it has to mean something to a larger society. Like 444, for example, was a personal story.
Yeah.
But the amount of vulnerability in there allowed for a lot of people to explore the space.
As we wrap and speaking of stages, Nicki Minaj also posted that she is not going to put out the album anymore, no more music, and she said,
God, no way.
She added Jay-Z and asked, was he happy now? She said she called the Barbs on the Barb phone, and they said, no, don't put out the music.
Now I know she's not blaming that headline on Rock Nation.
She's talking about
like, come on, like let's stop now. Like, come on, we don't got to be ridiculous now. Do I think
What's that T-shirt you wear all the time, Charlamagne? What's that T-shirt you wear?
blame Rock Nation?
There you go.
Yes, damn, you missed the cue to wear it.
I missed my flight yesterday. You know why? Rock Nation. I know Rock Nation.
That's ridiculous. Come on.
There's pictures of many major names, and you'll see different pictures of Jay-Z with younger women.
Oh.
Okay, and I don't know who that is. Is that
Aaliyah?
Aaliyah? When she
Aaliyah.
was what, 16 or something like that?
I think there's one, Rob, where she puts the age right there.
Zoom in.
16,
15,
age
16.
15.
Okay. If Nicki Minaj tweets something like this and Jay-Z doesn't sue, well, it's very different than what Trump does. If Trevor Noah said something to Trump as a joke on his stand-up against him and Bill Clinton and the island, and he likes islands because Epstein Island is no longer around, and Trump immediately sues, we haven't seen it yet, but he says he's going to, and then he's going to be suing Michael Wolff. I mean, you got to just realize what's going to happen here. Is Jay-Z going to do anything to Nicki Minaj?
There's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records sold 5 million. Let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America can be purchased. You can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, there's not enough marketing dollars to go around.
Take me through your name, the origin of the name, and where it started and to what it is today.
Well, my mother named me Sean because when I was born to her, it was her right.
Sean. That's a nice name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happened?
Yeah. People start calling me it.
Yeah. I see. Right.
How does one of the biggest rappers alive go on social media and accuse Jay-Z of owing her $200 million? And Jay-Z doesn't respond. Not a tweet, not a statement, not even a slick little subliminal bar. Just silence. And that silence might be the loudest part of this entire story. Because Nicki Minaj didn't just throw out a random complaint. She basically accused one of the most powerful men in music of finessing her behind closed doors. And once she started talking, she didn't stop. It started with one number, a number so insane that people thought it had to be a joke. Nicki Minaj went online and claimed Jay-Z owed her somewhere between $100 million and $200 million. Not over an album, not over a feature, but over something much deeper: business, ownership, and a deal that was supposed to represent freedom for artists. Nicki Minaj didn't frame it like a petty dispute either. She framed it like betrayal, like robbery in broad daylight. And she made it clear she wasn't whispering about it behind the scenes anymore. She wanted the world to hear it. But the question everyone immediately asked was simple. If someone owes you $200 million, why are you tweeting? Why not take it straight to court? And that's where the story gets weird. Because Nicki Minaj wasn't just venting, she was building something, piece by piece, like she wanted people to start looking at Jay-Z differently. And it all goes back to one company, Tidal. Rewind to 2015. Jay-Z launches Tidal, a streaming platform he pitched as the future. Not Spotify, not Apple. This was supposed to be the artist-owned revolution, a place where musicians finally ate at the table instead of getting crumbs. And Jay didn't launch it alone. He brought in the Avengers of the music industry: Beyoncé, Rihanna, Kanye, J. Cole, Madonna, and yes, Nicki Minaj. Each major artist reportedly received an equity stake. The message was clear. This isn't just business. This is culture. This is ownership. Nicki Minaj played her role. She promoted Tidal heavily. She pushed exclusives. She stood front and center at the launch like she was part of something historic. And for a while, it looked like it might actually work. Until the sale. In 2021, Jay-Z sells the majority stake of Tidal to Jack Dorsey's company Square, now called Block. The deal was worth roughly $300 million in cash and stock, a massive payday. And when people started doing the math, Nicki Minaj's alleged 3% stake should have meant millions, at minimum. But according to Nicki Minaj, she didn't see it. She claimed she got offered a fraction, a hush-type number. And that's when the tweets turned from shade to smoke. She started implying she was owed more, way more. And eventually she said it outright. Jay-Z owed her a karmic debt, one collecting interest. That wasn't just frustration, that was war language. And Nicki Minaj wasn't done, because she didn't believe it stopped at money. She believed it went into power. The next explosion came with the Super Bowl. In 2024, the NFL announces Kendrick Lamar as the halftime headliner in New Orleans. And instantly, people noticed one name missing: Lil Wayne. Wayne is New Orleans. He's the heartbeat of that city, a living legend. And the Super Bowl was happening in his backyard. Most people assumed it was obvious. Wayne in New Orleans writes itself. But instead, Kendrick. And Nicki Minaj went nuclear. Because Roc Nation, Jay-Z's company, helps produce the halftime show. Jay's fingerprints are all over that machine. So Nicki framed it like this wasn't a simple booking choice. She framed it like punishment. She accused Jay of denying Wayne his moment because of old industry grudges, because of Birdman, because of Drake, because of Nicki Minaj herself. She made it sound like Jay was freezing out an entire circle. And the craziest part? A lot of people weren't even barbs. And they still understood why it felt wrong. Wayne not getting that slot rubbed the culture the wrong way. And Nicki used that moment as proof. This isn't random, this is a pattern, but to really understand why it felt so personal, you have to go back. Because Nicki Minaj and Jay weren't always enemies. They had history. This part gets overlooked because people act like this is just some Twitter beef. But Jay-Z and Nicki Minaj go back over 15 years. In 2009, Nicki Minaj appears on Kanye West's Monster. That verse didn't just make her famous, it shook hip-hop. She didn't out-rap the features, she obliterated them. Even Jay-Z recognized it. And behind the scenes, Jay reportedly tried to sign Nicki Minaj to Roc Nation. He wanted her. He saw the star power early, but Nicki chose loyalty. She went with Lil Wayne and Young Money. She stuck with the people who gave her a shot first, and industry insiders have speculated for years. That decision planted the first seed, not publicly, but privately. Still, Jay kept showing love. He co-signed her early. She performed with Jay and Eminem at Yankee Stadium. She spoke about him with admiration. She even modeled her album The Pink Print after his blueprint. This wasn't hate, this was respect. So what happened? What turns admiration into scorched earth? Nicki Minaj believes the fracture started with Tidal, and everything after that was the fallout. Once Nicki started talking, she didn't just accuse Jay of owing money. She accused Roc Nation of something darker: blackballing, sabotage, industry control. She went after Desiree Perez, the CEO of Roc Nation. She questioned her past, her power, her role. Nicki Minaj claimed artists who don't fall in line get frozen out. She hinted at bots suppressing her engagement. She implied Billboard manipulation. She suggested her documentary was stalled because she spoke too openly. These weren't small accusations. This wasn't, "I didn't get paid." This was, "They're trying to erase me." And through all of it, Jay-Z stayed silent. No denial, no lawsuit, nothing. DJ Academics pointed out how one-sided it was becoming. Nicki Minaj launching attack after attack, and Jay acting like she doesn't exist. And that's where the story gets uncomfortable, because silence can mean two things. Either the claims are so ridiculous they aren't worth oxygen, or there's enough truth buried in them that responding would open doors nobody wants opened. And then came the Grammys, February 2026. Grammy night. Nicki isn't there. No nomination, no performance, no seat in the building. But somehow, she becomes the most talked about person of the entire night. Because Trevor Noah makes a joke, a jab at Nicki's political turn. The crowd laughs, industry people laugh, and Nicki is watching. And what happened next was unlike anything hip-hop has ever seen. Nicki floods social media, dozens and dozens of posts, rapid fire, unfiltered. She goes after Trevor Noah, she goes after celebrities, she goes after politics, and of course, she goes after Jay-Z harder than ever. Some of the things she posted drifted into conspiracy-heavy territory. The internet exploded. People didn't even know what they were watching. It wasn't just beef anymore. It was like watching a complete public unraveling, and whether fans defended her or criticized her. One thing was undeniable. Nicki Minaj had officially burned every bridge. This wasn't coming back. And the craziest part? Jay-Z still said nothing. That's what makes this saga so eerie. Nicki is screaming into the void, accusing, naming names, dropping dollar amounts, suggesting blackballing, and Jay-Z remains completely still. No response, no statement, no legal action. Which raises the question, why? Roc Nation has sued bloggers before. They've moved quickly when narratives get out of control. So why let Nicki say all this unchallenged? Academics asked the same thing, not as proof, but as a lingering discomfort. Because if someone was lying on your name with $200 million accusations, wouldn't you shut it down immediately? Unless you didn't want discovery, unless you didn't want paperwork opened, unless silence was safer. And Nicki seems to believe that silence is confirmation, that Jay's refusal to speak is the whole story. Nicki has made it clear she's not done. She's hinted she won't drop music until contracts change. She's teased story times. She's framed herself as someone fighting the machine. And whether you believe her or not, you can't deny one thing. Nicki Minaj still has the power to shake the entire culture without stepping inside the room. Jay-Z remains untouched publicly. But this saga hangs over him like smoke. Because unresolved accusations don't disappear. They linger. And the longer the silence lasts, the louder it becomes. At the end of the day, this isn't just about tweets. It's about money, power, loyalty, and what happens when someone who was once inside the circle feels like they got pushed out and decides to tell the world what they saw. Nicki isn't done talking. Jay isn't talking at all, and somehow, that might be the most shocking part of this entire war.